It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by Betfred, Linistar, Wow Hydrate, and JD Sports. All the action will be televised and go live across the UK on Sky Sports Box Office, and it'll go live around the world and in America on DAZN. It's an incredible fight card, 7 big fights, 5 title fights. So at this time, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to go ahead and bring the fighters up so they can face the scale and face each other. Our first fighter making her way to the stage, we've got a 10-round affair for the vacant Commonwealth Super Bantamweight Championship. Making her way up first, she's an undefeated southpaw fighting out of Liverpool. Please welcome Carly Skelly.
That this kid's got. He does so many things so good. Body punching, head movement. You know, his offense is fantastic.
15 victories, 12 defeats, 4 draws. He has 1 no contest. 10 big wins coming by way of knockout. He's a former world title challenger fighting out of Mexico City, Ciudad de Mexico, Distrito Federal. Damas y caballeros, presentando Martín El Diablo de Coapetla. Contest for the evening that we're going ahead and weighing in right now. 6 rounds in the super bantamweight division. Making her way to the stage. Her young professional record thus far perfect. 1 fight, 1 victory. That victory came by way of knockout. Fighting out of Euskirchen, Germany, please welcome Eva Hubmeyer. Hubmeyer.
Well, she's unbeaten, just 1 fight so far, 1 knockout win for Eva Hubmeyer, the visitor from Germany, and the first professional opponent for Ramla Ali. She spoke very well at the press conference yesterday, very authoritative, and obviously sees this as a big chance for her.
Well, it is. We're on a massive stage, you know. It's Usyk Chisora. It's a massive stage. Sky Sports, you know, whoever goes out there and puts on a performance can progress their career and take leaps that normally they wouldn't be able to take.
And women's boxing absolutely booming, and we're about to see the entrance.
9 stone 2.5 for Hubmeyer. 9 stone 2.5 for Eva Hubmeyer.
9-2.5, and we're about to see the
31-year-old
31-year-old Ramla Ali.
The stage, representing 258 Management. Saturday night, she makes her much anticipated professional debut, fighting out of London, England, by way of Mogadishu, Somalia. Please welcome Ramla Ali. Ali. $12 3/4 for Ramla Ali. 8 stone 12 3/4 for Ramla Ali.
And she's ready. She wasn't sure who she was fighting earlier in the week, but that was all sorted. And it could be a nervy, you know, tense occasion, a professional debut, especially on a platform like this.
Yeah, it is. And anybody, you know, a professional debut as normal is nervy. But you know, when you're getting all the publicity and all the background that she's getting,
Ali v. Hubmeyer,
it's a big spotlight that's shining brightly on
Saturday night matchroom boxing.
But you know, I think she seems as though, from a personality that I've seen from interviews, she seems like somebody that'll just take this in her stride and she'll grow with it as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're set to go with our next weigh-in of the afternoon. This is 12 rounds for the vacant European Cruiserweight Championship. Introducing up first, his professional record, 25 victories, 1 defeat, 2 draws. He's got 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Ninova in East Flanders, Belgium. Please welcome the IBF Intercontinental Cruiserweight Champion, Bilal Lagoon. Lagoon.
Well, he's brought a big team over. Bilal Lagoon, very pleasant guy. And a good fighter, solid fighter, 27 now, and he's won 25 of 28. This is a good one, isn't it?
Do you know what? It's very well matched. It's very well matched, because with Tommy McCarthy, we've seen some, you know, it can be hot and cold. When he's good, he's very, very good, but sometimes he can have a little off night, a little ordinary night. He can't afford to be ordinary in this fight. This is a well matched fight, so he's got to be at his best.
14 stone 3.5 for Lagoon. 14 stone 3.5 for Lagoon.
Nicely tucked inside the 14-4 cruiserweight limit. Vacant European belt on the line. Really intriguing one.
Right now,
how
making his way to the stage.
Good will Tommy McCarthy be?
Against 2 defeats, he's got 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Belfast, Northern Ireland, he is the WBC International Cruiserweight Champion. Please welcome the Mac Attack, Tommy McCarthy.
Well, I don't know about you, Dave, but when he turned professional, I thought he was going to go the whole way. Huge talent. It hasn't quite worked out for him. Some people doubt his temperament. A couple of losses with that great win away from home in Italy, guided by Peter Taylor, who I think is a great move to be in the corner with. He sort of cajoled him through, didn't he, Tommy? And I think he needs someone like that, because he could be a star. He's really got a lot of potential. He's 29 now, so this is a must-win fight for him.
Yeah, he's a very good boxer. He's a very good fighter. I had him in camp quite often, spar with Tony Bellew in preparation for our fights, and he is a kid that you would think would have done more than what he has done so far. But when we win these big titles, that takes you another level, and I believe that's what we're going to see with Tommy McCarthy now. I think you're going to see him kick on now.
14 stone, 3.5 for Tommy McCarthy. 14 stone, 3.5 for the Mac Attack.
Yep, exactly the same. So we have a European cruiserweight battle on, and it's a good one. Two quality operators, Tommy McCarthy and Bilal Lagoon from Belgium. McCarthy, a Belfast boy, was talking about his family and the kids he's got and how he really needs to get his career motoring. This is a massive chance because the winner of this goes straight up in the world rankings, don't they? European title.
Yeah, and there's a lot of big fights. There's a lot of big fights out there from, look at the cruiserweight, even the cruiserweight division in domestic, like, it's exciting. People are talking about it again.
McCarthy v. Lagoon,
so this is a huge fight for him. It's a major title, European title. So it's a big opportunity for him.
Saturday night, Sky Sports Box Office DAZN Matchroom Boxing.
We'll try and get a word with Tommy in a sec. But do you see this one going the distance?
No, I actually think that Tommy will stop him late on. I think it might take a few rounds, but I think it'll stop him late. I think early doors it'll be quite cagey, quite interesting. But yeah, I think Tommy's class.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to weigh in. 10 rounds for the vacant WBO middleweight championship of the world. She's now making her way onto the stage. 9 wins, 4 defeats, 2 of her wins coming by way of knockout. She's the former IBO World and WBC Silver Champion, fighting out of Glasgow, Scotland. Please welcome Hannah Rankin.
Hannah Rankin, the 30-year-old. What a story she's got. Talented musician and a battle-hardened warrior, and she's so up for this, Dave.
Oh, she's really up for it. The whole team of them are really up for this. And you know what? She's done the distance. She's fought at a high level in the pro game. Savannah Marshall's done everything in the amateurs, but this is the pro game, and she's going to be wanting to introduce you to the pro game and show what it's all about. This is an intriguing fight.
It's a really good matchup
now making her way to
for
the
world
stage.
title.
Her professional record thus far perfect. 8 fights, 8 victories, 6 of them coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated 2-time Olympian fighting out of Hartlepool, England. Here is Savannah, the silent assassin, Marshall.
2-time Olympian, former world champion, only woman ever to beat Clarissa Shields. The potential, the talent is there with Savannah Marshall. Now she's got to deliver on her biggest professional night.
She does, and you know that she's going to be well up for this fight. She's prepared right under Peter Fury. She looks in fantastic shape there on the scales. This is going to be a great fight. This is
11-5 1/4 for Savannah Marshall. 11-5 1/4 for Savannah Marshall.
We were mentioning the relationship between Peter Taylor and Tommy McCarthy. I think Peter Fury and Savannah Marshall has been a match made in heaven there.
Yeah, 100%. And Savannah seems very, very happy. And you always say about a fighter that's happy is a dangerous fighter. This is going to be a great fight because, like I said, we're ranking. She's tough, she's durable. Savannah can punch. This is going to be a good fight.
Hannah's got a great team with her as well. Noel Callan, who's been with her for a long time. Gary Jacobs, part of the camp. There were really confident all the way through the bubble in Peterborough. The fight didn't happen because of Peter's test, but now it does 2 weeks later, and it's one to get really excited about. England, Scotland too.
It is, yeah, it's got that added factor. But this is what a world title fight should be like. It should be where you're intrigued about who's going to win. You don't want to know who's going to win every time. The whole camps, everybody.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to weigh in the chief support for Saturday night's huge night of boxing. 12 rounds for the final eliminator for the IBF Lightweight Championship of the World. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with Lou DeBella's DeBella Entertainment. Introducing up first to the stage, undefeated as a professional, 18 fights, 18 victories, 10 of them coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and proudly representing his home of Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, here is the WBA Oceania and IBF Pan-Pacific champion, George Ferocious Cambosos Jr. Cambosos Jr.
Here's another character that's lit up fight week, a big team who's come over from both America and Australia. This is a man that is fearless, that has done 250 rounds with Manny Pacquiao. He's unbeaten in 18. He is utterly convinced, Dave, that he will take out Lee Selby and become the mandatory for the new star, Teofimo Lopez.
He is seriously confident. You know, he's got an all-action style. He's exciting. You know, I've enjoyed doing a little bit of research on him, watching him, listening to him speak with his interviews. He's convinced he's going to win tomorrow night. It's a great.
How good do you think he is?
Listen, I know it's very difficult. We a lot of Australian fighters they step up. You never know. They have a great record. They look the part when they're fighting, but when they step up to that quality, sometimes they get found a little bit wanting. Selby's a very
and
good
his opponent now making his way up to the stage. His professional record, 28 victories, 2 defeats. He has 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Barry, Wales. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former IBF featherweight champion of the world, Lightning Lee Selby.
Quality operator, Lee Selby, former featherweight champion of the world. Now at lightweight, he's had a couple of fights. He squeezed past Ricky Burns. He's got a great corner in Tony Ball, Chris Sanagar. He looks well.
It looks very well. I mean, you know, you look at him, he's got a big frame on him. He's a big kid. So think about the divisions he's been boxing in before. As you're getting older, you fill out anyway. And you need to go with nature a little bit. And it can give you a little bit of lease of life, give you more energy. It's all about whether he's strong enough in the division to keep off the opponents like Cambosos.
1 or 2 whispers that he might be tied at the weight, even at lightweight, Lee Selby, but he looks fantastic. He's made it absolutely fine. Cambosos heavily tattooed. He's got all sorts of, you know, Greek warrior, the history on his back, on his front. He's a really, really interesting guy. Selby, quieter, but he's got the skill set. Has he still got what it takes at 33 and the ambition and the... We know he's got the talent. Can he do it over 12 rounds against a fiery man like Cambosos?
Yeah, you look at Cambosos now, you're looking at him, he's talking to him, you know, he was gesturing to Lee there. He can't wait to get in that ring. The first few rounds are very important in this fight. Selby can't give him anything, can't let him grow with even more confidence.
Selby beat Cambosos 12 rounds for the final eliminator for the IBF Lightweight Championship of the World.
It's a really, really interesting fight, a good fight, a solid fight, a pick'em fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to weigh in the main event for Saturday night. 12 rounds for the WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with K2 Promotions and Haymaker Boxing. Now on the scale, 32-9, 23 knockouts. Fighting out of Finchley, North London, England, the former British, the former Commonwealth, the former European, the former WBA and WBO International Champion, and the reigning WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Del Boy, Dereck Chisora.
Well, he's milking this, isn't it?
18-3.5 for Del Boy, 18-3.5 for Dereck Chisora.
18-3.5. That's a good weight for him, Dave.
Yeah, it is. You know, at this stage of his career, like I said, the last couple of years he's been living
And
life.
now
He's
making
been
his
eating
way to the stage.
everything that he puts into body is for a reason now.
Highly skilled,
so, you know, he's in the best possible shape he's ever going to be, giving himself every chance.
Professional, 17 fights, 17 victories, 13 of them coming by way of knockout. He's the 2012 Olympic gold medalist and the former undefeated and undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world from Kiev, Ukraine, Pani Tofanova, Oleksandr Usyk.
Chisora at 18-3.5, the lightest for quite some time. Oleksandr Usyk weighed 15.5 against Chaz Witherspoon, 15.5. He's had a year since that. Has he filled out a little more? What are we going to see?
I'm guessing 15.8.
stone 7 1/4 from Oleksandr
15-8.
Usyk. 15 stone 7 1/4.
Now Dereck gets up close and personal. Should be a bit of social distance, but Big Neil's going to have to try and get between them. And this is intense now. They had a big hug of respect yesterday. Now,
this is where Dereck's letting him know that all the fun and games is over now. It means business.
and dressed for the occasion, Dereck.
Yeah. See, we've seen things like this when Marco Huck got in Usyk's face in the past. It doesn't faze him. It doesn't faze him. He uses that for fuel. Usyk's glares have not changed.
So not far off a 3 stone weight advantage. A huge,
Oleksandr Usyk beat Dereck
difference.
Chisora, 12
But Usyk
rounds
with
for
all the
WBO
quality.
Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Saturday night's main event from the SSE Wembley, London, England.
One of the longest face-to-face head-to-heads you will see. It was intense from Del Boy, and he's loving every minute of it. And maybe he's loving it because he's in the best shape he's been for a long time.
Yeah, he is. So listen, like I said before.